Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Chris here at the London Close. It is 5:11 a.m. for me, so it's 4:12 p.m. in London right now. So, thanks for joining. Happy you're here. Let's get started. So, we're going to kind of cover developments over the night. We will talk about a trade that we had yesterday at the end. But let's look at we'll do the analysis and look for trades for today first, and then we'll kind of cover the trade from yesterday. And it was successful, a full take profit. So um, let's look at the heat map, which is what I do every day. And you can see right now the pound is getting sold off pretty substantially, particularly against the yen. Euro and US all over 1%. So this is definitely a trend right now. A little bit more subdued against the Aussie and the Kiwi, which were sold off as well. Right now, the strength is definitely the yen, which is up against everything right now. So it feels like a little bit more of a risk-off day. The euro is up against most of the major pairs. Don't know what happened here, guys. Sorry. But it is down against the CAD slightly and the US slightly. Everything's down against the yen. So why? Why is it down? So the pound left their rates, the UK, excuse me, Bank of England left their rates unchanged yesterday, or this morning, excuse me. And they did agree to increase their quantitative easing. So that is what I believe caused the drop. There, obviously, that's going to be a deflationary move, right? Jobless claims are up versus in the U.S., so that's not good, considering the fact that we're already in June right now. Coronavirus cases are rising as well. So Texas coronavirus cases, hospitalizations rose 5.5% in the past 24 hours versus 11% a day ago. So that's an improvement. Florida cases are up 3.9% versus a 7-day average of 2.5. So that's not good. And coronavirus cases up in the UK. So it seems like as things are opening up, it's getting a little scarier out there. Although there was some positive news from Beijing saying that they did control their coronavirus outbreak there. So what do we do with the data for today? That's interesting. Well, one positive piece was Canada did have an improvement in their job figures, but that was kind of expected as well. So it feels to me like a risk-off day, and the yen kind of confirms it. So, when you have a strong move like this, it seems like the risk-on, risk-offs are taking a few days to play out. So that's kind of what we're going to be looking at for today. So what I'd like to look at is a Euro Aussie. I think that the Euro is at a low versus the Australian dollar. I think the Australian dollar is susceptible to U.S.-China tensions and also the coronavirus issues. To add to the fact that Australia had horrendous jobs figures that missed expectations. And by the way, New Zealand's GDP missed expectations as well by quite a bit. So that's kind of what we are looking at for today. So let's look at Euro Aussie. That's one pair that's at a really good level right now, or at least it's dangling in that level, 163.33, which is, like I said, a very, very strong level. So we're at 163.55, so it's already bounced off, or it fell a little short of it. I'd only be interested if it actually hit it, because that's the level that I'd be interested in actually selling from, and I'll show you why. Let me get rid of this volume cluster here. I'm going to show you the volume on this. I think I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm just estimating here, but I'm pretty sure the volume's going to be up there when we're looking at this move. So you see the volume is definitely at this level here, but there's another little volume level Actually, no. Well, I thought the 33 level would be a nice little bounce area, but it seems like the volume's starting to get in here. So my concern with that is it going to take it lower or is it going to take it higher? So we're kind of at an indecision here, and that's where this volume profile tool really helps because it tells you kind of what's going on, and that is, yeah, you can see. Look at this. If we go further back though, we're at an indecision level right now. I mean, and it's right on that level. You can see some volume down here, like this level 163.04. It looks like it's pretty substantial, but the volume's all right in here over the last couple days. So it's ranging, right? So I'm not really gonna get into a ranging pair right now. So let's scratch that one. Let's take a look and see if we have anything else that's worthwhile here. So Euro US could be something for a short. I think with there was a level 112.25 that's been broken already. So we're looking to get down into 111s. Let's take a look and see what that looks like today. Once again, I'm looking for risk off today. So anything risk off. So US dollar and yen are kind of the pairs I'm looking for. Okay, so here's a really good one. So we're at 112.30. The level is obviously, we're approaching it. So this looks like it could be a good trade for us. We're approaching the level, and it's close. So I'm going to go down to the 5-minute, as I talked about yesterday. And what I want to see here is I want to see some type of indecision bar, some type of long wick tail here, and I want to see it going in the opposite direction, or I want to see an engulfing bar, which is a red bar that's much bigger than the recent green bar. So I want to see a signal that it's going downward. So let's keep an eye on this, and well, looks like we might get it now here. So what I want to do though is, let's go back to the 30-minute. Let's suppose that it's getting in right here. We're probably looking at maybe a 10 pip stop, because for me, well, actually, no, it would probably be more up here. Probably looking at like a 20 pip stop. We want to see it break this volume area. If it can break this volume area, that tells me that it's not gonna fall through. But we could keep it tight. This level seems pretty strong, but you can see there's some other volume here that's almost as big. So let's see where this thing settles, and we'll kind of look at what the stop should be. I'm kind of thinking we keep it real tight and go big on this one. We go like a 10 pip stop and go for good 50, 60 pips here. All right, so we've seen the bar, which already happened here. So let's keep an eye on this thing. I wish the wick was a little bit longer. The body seems to be pretty big here. So I'd like to see a close below this before I really get in. So we're looking at about 5 more minutes. As you can see, there's still some indecision here. And, I want to see like a really small body and a really long wick. That tells me that there's some real resistance here. And you can see it's not really doing that for me here. So while we're looking at that, we'll put that on the side to see where this goes. Let me show you what we did with the CAD yen yesterday. So this was a good trade for us. We got in at the London close time frame here, right here on this this pin after this rebound here on a retracement. So you can see it dropped here, retracement here. The volume was right about here at 79.30. So we got in at 79.11. We targeted 78.65. And this was pretty much a textbook trade. It dropped a bit, retraced to the area that we entered in, and then got in a nice downward trend to our target here. So it was a pretty textbook move, and that's, it's nice when trades hit that easily, right? So that was good for us. But the important thing, and let's say it bounced and then it started spiking up against you again. Well, what gives you the confidence to stay in this? Technicals can only give you so much confidence, but that fundamental bias that the big Canadian dollar had some negative news yesterday, and it was starting to be more of a risk-off environment with the coronavirus cases spiking. That gives you the confidence that price is moving in this direction for a certain reason. The volume flow is going down because the price was below the biggest volume cluster. So that tells you that the direction, it was going to go with reasonable confidence. And at that point, you just got to hold it. So, that's what we did, and that's how it worked. So it was a good trade. And, getting the right entry is something that I've personally been working on with these London close trades. And, I'm always looking to improve and grow and fine tune this strategy to get better reward to risk, better profitability. I mean, I think that's what we're all after. And for me, once again, I know this strategy is profitable, but I want to get the best price I possibly can. And I think waiting for price action to kind of show you that is kind of what we're looking for here. So back to the trade at hand. You can see it's starting to spike down. For me, like I said, a 30-minute on the 30-minute here with the volume at 35. To me, maybe a 15 pip stop would be the right way to go. It gives us a little higher than that in case it spikes up, because it's so close to that big volume cluster. But this looks like it's going to be our trade for today, guys. So we're looking at maybe a 15 pip stop on Euro US. We know what our entry is going to be. And you can see it's not really that. If it would have closed completely down here, I would have been more excited about this. But you can see it's really not that exciting to go downward, is it? There's some indecision here. So to me, there could be some price jump up, which actually could work for us if it gets up to 35, which is where the volume is. We could really sell the bounce off this thing, and could go with a 10 pip stop. Because for me, if it closes, above that, I'm not interested. We could use this level here, this cluster volume, as our stop area if it gets up to here. So I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on this one, guys. This price action is not really encouraging me to go short with a big move here. So let's hold off and see what happens here. But meanwhile, let me look and see if there's anything else that might be more worthwhile here, because we're still waiting for this guy to move. Yeah, U.S. dollar is kind of a tricky one right now because, it's typically a safe haven currency, but the interest rates are low and the U.S. economy is not really doing well. So I don't know how much of a good investment it is, other than it's just always been a good investment, Hmm. Aussie yen could be something worthwhile here. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, you can see the volume built up here. There's some more volume right here. It's below that. So I'm kind of thinking there might be a break into the downward on this one. But it's pretty sloppy and it's already kind of on its way down. So not sure if this is something I'd be willing to trade. It was worth a look, guys. It was worth a look. Euro US starting to follow through a little bit more. Let's take a look on the 5 minute and see what it's looking like. Okay, now this is starting to get me a little bit more excited here. So if it closes down here and it's not choppy like this bar right here, I'll get in on this guy because that tells me that the momentum's starting to go downward. It's just dilly-dallying around here between 112.30 and 112.25. So, once again, I'm pretty confident in the direction. I'm just looking for price action to confirm for me the downward trend. So until it does that, we're gonna hold off. All right. Well, let me continue looking and let's see if there's anything else. If we take this trade, I'll let you know. And this is kind of what trading is. It's you're looking for these opportunities, and like I said, I'm just kind of sorting through my auto chartist, looking for good levels and risk off opportunities. So yeah, Kiwi yen's kind of in the same position. I don't know how much follow through that'll be. So here's an interesting one, guys. Swiss franc yen. You can see there's no follow through on this Euro US pair, so not interested. So here's an interesting one. Volume right up here. It's broken a low. So if it can make it up to 112.56, I'd be interested in a short. I'd like to see a bounce off this level, though, and this would be a really nice tight stop for us. Seems like it's got a little bit of a ways to go here, though, so wish it was a little higher. Darn it. And that looked like a good trade because the level's really solid. The level's at 112.37. So that's right here. And you can see it broke that. But typically when it breaks these levels, you can see it retested it once, retested it twice. So I think it'll go above that level and then go downward further. Swiss franc had their rate announcement yesterday, unchanged. Talked about significant downwinds in their economy. So even though they're traditionally a risk-off safe haven, that's something I was interested in there too. Didn't seem like it was going to make it down there though. Okay, so let's go back to that Euro US and see where we're at on that. Didn't seem like it was ready to break yet. It's stalled. So it spiked, it stalled. Where are we on this? Let's take a look. And finishing downwards, so it seems like there's some resistance at this level, but it's moving so slow. Yeah. One other one I was going to look at is Kiwi US. I think this could be a nice little move for us, and actually seen some follow through there. So you see the level at 64.43. It's hit the level, it bounced off, and it's dropping below here on the 30-minute. This level's been super strong, though. You can see it's been here for days. So, could get down to this 64 figure. I don't see it really dropping below that. If we got in, we're looking at maybe a 10 pip stop here. If it gets above this volume, we're not interested. So actually be more of a 15 pip stop. The target's only 30 pips, 33 pips. So it's a real dicey reward to risk. And you can see based on the volume here today, it's not really moving. And that concerns me going into Asia because so much can happen with this one. It's starting a little bit of a dip, but not going to trade that today. I'd like to see something that follows through here at London close. Okay, guys, so we're seeing what we want to see here. A nice little drop, but let's see if it follows through. And if it follows through, we're looking at 15 pip stop. We'll get in on the Euro US. 0.38. Yep, looks good for us. This looks good, guys. This looks good. Okay, so we got in on this bearish bar here, and our target, our stop, we are looking at, we got in at 112.21. It's 112.22 is where we got in. Okay, stop is going to be this volume cluster here. If it closes above that, we're not interested anymore. And we're going to target 111.50 on this. So just above that level. So profit level be 111.56. When you're setting your stops and your targets, you don't want to be super predictable. So 111.50, 112, the figures, that's where all those order clusters are, and these big movers, whether they're banks or institutions, they know those levels and they're going to target that. So you don't want to be part of the pack when you're setting your orders. You want to be, you want to separate yourself from the pack here. So this is the trade that we have for today. And if we go to a longer time frame, you can see why we're targeting these areas. So 3 hours, you can see here, there's a big volume level right here at 112.26. So if it breaks this, which I think it will break, it's going to go down to this next level here. So that's why we're targeting what we're targeting. And we have a very tight stop. So we're looking at a 4.9 to 1 reward to risk. Okay. So let's see how this goes, and we'll take it from there, guys. So thanks again, and I'll keep this on here so we can take a look and see what this does. All right. Hit me up in the room if you need anything. Thanks.